Hi, I'm Jesse Abbott, your host of Valley News Now, and we're on location, sort of. Lynn is on location from a Harvest Hope Farm, and you guys just created an amazing thing over the last few days, this growing dome.
We did, yes.
So
We started our dome build on Monday afternoon and finished it this morning at about 10:30.
it is incredible.
Yeah,
So it
we are super excited. Yeah.
so if remind me if I'm wrong. I was just kind of reading over some of the notes, but did you get a was it a grant that allowed the building of this?
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about
Yes.
that grant. That's pretty amazing.
So we received a grant from the Minnesota Department of Agriculture, and it was through their urban agriculture program.
Cool.
They granted us $50,000 this year so that we could build this dome. I'll take you inside.
Yes.
Um, and yeah, we are super grateful for them.
This is
So we will
awesome.
be able to extend our programs going into winter.
Wow.
And yeah, so here we are inside.
And so you can farm 365 days a year inside of this dome.
Yes. So in the winter, when it's super cold in January, we will probably be on a learning curve to see what we can do.
Right.
But we should be able to grow some root crops.
Wow.
So, potatoes, onions, beets, carrots, those types of things. They tell us that it will be about 50 degrees warmer in here than outside.
Wow.
So we are super excited. As you can see, nothing is done inside yet. The
Well,
build was just for the outside.
I can't believe it's
Right.
built. When we set this up, I was kind of expecting it to be in the midst of construction.
So was I.
Yeah.
We had volunteers scheduled through. We had volunteers scheduled. Sorry, through tomorrow.
Oh wow.
Through the end of the day tomorrow, and we were able to cancel them. And the lead builder from Growing Spaces went home this morning, um, and we had it all done. So we had some amazing
Amazing.
volunteers here that helped out, and it was great. Yeah.
When does that ever happen where you have more volunteers than needed?
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was super good. Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
So
tell us a little bit about Harvest Hope Farm, just in general. This
yeah.
grant is so exciting, but what you've been doing there is so
Yes.
amazing.
So I'm gonna take you for a little walk,
Awesome.
and you'll see a little bit of construction stuff still around because we're still cleaning up. But we just finished our 6th year of farm camps. Um, in
Wow.
the summer, we have 32 kids that come out weekly from May through August,
Oh my
and
gosh.
they get to grow these outdoor gardens. Um, Let me get my gate
Wow.
open. And each of the kids gets to grow a raised garden bed. They pick what they're going to plant in it. They
Really?
grow it from planting to harvest. They prepare their garden. They plant it. They water and weed weekly. They,
Cool. So they really
we
get to see the whole process. And
they do. And then in addition to working in the gardens, they also get to work with our animals.
oh,
And they get to learn about sustainability and environmental stewardship. So they're learning where their food comes from, how to be good stewards to our environment. One of the interesting things they do is each week the kids bring their kitchen scraps from home out to the farm,
oh,
and they
cool.
get to feed them either to the pigs or the chickens, or they put them in their garden for compost.
Nice.
Um, this year is our pollinator garden. They It doesn't look as beautiful now as it did a month ago because
Oh,
of the weather,
still looks gorgeous.
but NDSU planted this here 2 years ago,
Wow.
and they're helping to bring back pollinators to the area. So, yeah, so this is our farm camp garden.
This is incredible.
And yeah, and with the growing dome now, we will be able to start our growing early in the
Mhm.
spring for summer, so then the kids can transplant into their gardens out here,
Neat.
and then we'll be able to have a fall camp in the Garden Dome. We'll be able to have a winter camp potentially in the
Nice.
Garden Dome. So we'll just be able to expand our camps and what we're doing with kids. And then all the produce that we raise in these gardens is given to families in need in the Fargo-Moorhead area.
Wow.
So we send out applications to different nonprofits, churches, schools, and then they give those applications to families that they believe would benefit from getting free produce boxes. So currently we're delivering produce on Thursday or Friday mornings, and we will do that until about the end of October.
Wow.
Based on the growth in these gardens. And we don't meet those families, we just leave it on their doorstep and just want to give a little bit of hope to someone. It doesn't necessarily mean it's a financial need.
Yeah.
It might be someone just going through a hard time. Maybe there's a recent medical diagnosis, maybe there was a death in the family, different things like that.
Yeah.
So that's what we do with the produce that we raise.
That is awesome. That is so great.
The dome will just be able to allow us to do a little more of that and keep it going a little bit longer each year, and to offer some more camps for our kids. And when the kids are out here, they are not allowed to have their phones or other devices on them. So we're just trying to get them back in nature, getting their hands dirty, having them have some experiences that maybe they wouldn't have otherwise.
Right.
So
and even growing up.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, just even growing up in this area, a lot of kids haven't had those experiences and don't really know exactly where their food comes from and how it all works.
Yeah. So I'm walking over to where our animals are.
Awesome.
That's another big component of our camps. And here are our pigs.
Oh my gosh.
So when our kids start camp, in June or in end of May, these pigs are little tiny piglets, and the kids think, oh, you're gonna butcher them eventually. But then as we get near the end of camp and they're getting big and ugly, then they're like, oh, that's where bacon comes from. so they start to learn where their food comes from.
Yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah. And over here we have our sheep.
Oh, wow.
And we have a miniature horse. They might all come up and see us here. We'll see. And we have some fainting goats.
Oh,
and
man.
then back there, we have our two llamas, Raven and Abu.
Oh.
Our llamas we use for a camp called Llama Camp. We have a preschool camp for 3 to 5 year olds where we teach them about social skills and how to not be a bully goat.
That's so cool.
We use the llamas in that camp. And then there's some chickens out here too. There's one of our goats.
It's just beautiful out there.
Yeah, so
I bet the kids go crazy. I mean, do you have kids that have just? I'm sure you do, that have never seen like really any of this stuff.
Yeah, we do. We get a lot of kids who have never seen some of these animals.
Yeah.
Many of them are timid or afraid at first, but then by the time we get to the end of farm camp, they're very comfortable around them.
Yeah.
They learn about, not only where their food comes from, but other things that animals are used for. So our sheep are eating over there, but they learn about their wool and their fiber and what the llama fiber is used for and what sheep's wool is used for. And then we also are involved with research for Huntington's disease.
Wow,
using our
interesting.
sheep. Yeah, so we work with a company in South Dakota that is called Glycoscience Research, and that company is doing I always say they're doing the hard part. They do all the scientific stuff.
Okay.
So our sheep, some of them carry a gene that overproduces a glycosugar that people with Huntington's disease lack. And if a lamb is born with the gene and can be used for the research, we send it back to South Dakota, and then they
Wow.
use it for their studies that they're doing there.
That's incredible.
So that is actually why we originally got our sheep. We are not,
Really?
yeah, we're not commercial farmers at all. Everything we do is for education purposes and then for the Huntington's disease research.
Wow.
So, yeah, my mom and sister both died of Huntington's, and
Okay.
I'm at risk for Huntington's. So, when we
Yes.
found out that we could help with the research, we got our first 10 ewes, and here we are 7 years later, and we have about 50 sheep, and we
Wow, you
breed
have
them each spring.
50.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
So,
really incredible and so
so
interesting because,
yeah,
obviously the history of Huntington's, but for people that don't, I mean, it's a genetic disorder and quite debilitating. And
yep,
yes, if
yep.
you have a family member, you go ahead.
Yeah, it is a very debilitating disease. It's basically, well, it's best described as a combination of Alzheimer's and MS and
Yeah.
ALS all together.
Yeah.
Or not MS, I'm sorry, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and ALS all together.
Yeah.
So it's very debilitating. Many people die,
Hmm.
midlife from it.
Yeah.
There is a juvenile form as well.
That I didn't know. Wow.
Yeah, I've been connected with a few people with juvenile Huntington's disease,
Hmm.
and a dear friend of mine lost her sister at age 14 from it.
Wow.
So it's a rare disease, but it's very debilitating.
Yes.
So anything that we can do to help out in that realm, not just because it's in our family, but we're very connected with that community,
Hmm.
and just to be able to give people hope for a cure.
Yeah.
And it might not be a traditional cure, but any work that can be done in that
Oh,
area,
yeah.
and just also to be able to show that animals are not only used for food, but they can also be used for pharmacy, and they can be used for fiber as well. So
That's
yeah,
incredible. What a neat thing for the kids to learn, but what an interesting fact about how you started with the sheep.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
When we moved to our farm 8 years ago, I never thought we'd have sheep. I never thought we'd be doing what we are doing. We had some chickens and we had some gardens, and we we really knew that we had to find a way to bless others with this
Wow.
property, and we thought about it and prayed about it for a couple of years, and now here we are,
Look at
and
that.
we couldn't feel more blessed.
And I
So
love the name, Harvest Hope. I think that's
oh,
just the
thank
coolest
you,
name. Yeah.
thank you, yeah. So yeah, so
So many
that's
great things. Do kids
yeah.
ever, I was just thinking about, kids planting, do they ever ask to plant something crazy like candy or, something that doesn't
Well,
grow from the ground?
actually, one year, this was a couple of years ago, we had a kid who said he wanted to plant donuts.
Oh.
And we were like, but donuts don't grow from a garden. And well, funny thing was, one of our board members found some silly seeds that were called donut
Oh,
seeds.
come on. How funny.
So we let him plant those, and then one day before farm camp, we picked up some donuts and put them in his garden,
Oh,
and
come on. That's
he
so
knew they
sweet.
weren't real, but it was
Yeah.
a fun, just
That's really
something fun
fun.
to do. Yeah. We've done that with peppermint too. Someone wanted to plant peppermint
Oh,
sticks
cute.
and see if they could get them to grow.
I
So,
bet they have
yeah.
some cute ideas.
Yeah. So
If you
here's
ever
one of our
wanted to have
llamas.
oh, I'm
Yes.
so sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, here's one of our
Well,
llamas.
look at you.
Yeah. This one is Abu. The brown one is Abu, and the black one is Raven.
Oh my gosh. They are great.
And yeah, they are buddies. They're both girls, and they're both 8 years old.
Wow.
They're very gentle. Kids just
Mm.
love them.
So you were
Raven's
talking
looking
about
at.
llama fiber. I have to admit I don't know exactly what that is. Can you tell me
Yeah,
what that is? And
so the llamas get shorn every year, just like the sheep do,
okay.
and their fiber can be turned into yarn
Oh.
that can be used in knitting. So we
Wow.
have a board member that I call our fleece junkie, and she's learning how to spin llama fiber, and she's
Oh,
learning
wow.
how to spin the wool from the sheep. And yeah, so
So cool.
it can be made into yarn. Oh, here's one of our buddies. This is Dumbledore.
Oh,
Hey, buddy. So the Dumbledore is kind of our token pet sheep. He was a bottle-fed lamb and really became like a pet to my kids when
oh
he was
yeah,
little,
yeah.
and we've never been able to get rid of him. So he, yeah, yeah.
That
So
is
he
so
got
cute.
the name Dumbledore, and
I
yeah.
love it.
So
Oh my gosh. So for the kids' camps, tell me how you register, what ages, like give us moms and dads the lowdown.
yeah, so our registration for our camps opens February 1st.
Okay.
People can go to harvesthopefarm.org, and all the registration links are on there.
Awesome.
We have a llama camp for 3 to 5 year olds, and that runs, we have 4 sessions of it, and it runs Monday through Thursday just for 2 hours each day for
Okay.
those littles. And we have two teachers that teach that camp for us.
Fun.
And then farm camp, that also opens up, registration opens February 1st. And I will tell you, for both camps, they fill up very quickly.
I bet.
We take 32 kids for our summer farm camp, and that is for 6 to 13-year-olds. Again, they can go to harvesthopefarm.org. It starts the last Wednesday of May
Okay.
and runs until the middle of August. So it just meets on Wednesdays.
Wow.
And one session is from 3 to 5, and one session is from 6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, that is cool.
So, yeah. And then we will be adding more farm camps as we learn how our growing dome works.
Yeah.
And it's going to be probably a year of a learning curve.
Oh, I'm sure. Yep.
I've never worked in a greenhouse, so we'll see how it goes.
We'll see.
And
Yeah. Well, like you said,
yeah.
50 degrees warmer. I mean, dead of January, we might still only be looking at, 15 above or something.
yeah, right. Well, and I think about even like, I don't know, like mid-February when it's starting to maybe warm up.
Yeah.
And it's like 10 degrees outside, but it's 60 in there.
Oh,
Like that will be
that'll
amazing.
be fun.
I
Right?
think I'm gonna make myself a little office corner in there. So in
Definitely.
the winter when it's cold, I can go out there and sit in
You're like, I think the growing dome
green
needs
and-
some help. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, if you
So-
ever decided to have a teenager boarding camp, I think you could make some serious bank.
Well, maybe, huh? Right?
Even for a week, It's like,
Yeah. We had some teenagers out here last night for a church group, and they
Oh, cool.
absolutely loved it.
I bet they did.
More than I thought they would. So yeah.
They do surprise you. Yeah, I'm like, boy, when my
Yeah.
kids were teenagers, right around that 15, I would have sent you them for the summer.
Well, I currently have 8 kids, and
Oh,
5
wow.
of them are teenagers right now. But
Oh.
we're pretty blessed. They're all pretty good, and they're all very invested in what we do. So
That
they're
is awesome.
they're a part of it all, and
Oh, I love that. That is fantastic. What are your ages range? I know now we're getting off topic, but I'm just
we
curious.
range in age from 19 down to 3 years old.
Oh my
So,
goodness, how
Yeah,
fun.
so we have it all. So
That's awesome. That's awesome. You're living the dream there.
we are. It's great. So yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you.
thank you. This was wonderful.
This was wonderful. Yes, thank you for showing us everything live and just taking the time to walk around your farm. And so harvesthopefarm.org. Did I get that right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So
And
that's
they
where
can also follow us on Facebook at Harvest Hope Farm and
Okay.
see all our updates there. And as we get the inside of the growing dome done, I'll be posting lots of pictures.
Yes.
And we might
Yeah,
have
and
some
anytime you want to
other
check in, we
Yeah,
can
that'd be
we can do another interview and check in. Well, thank you so much, Lynn. After I say goodbye to you, I'm going to keep everybody online and just go to your Facebook and your website too, so people can see kind of
That's
where to
awesome.
go.
And if you wouldn't mind sharing, well, I guess I can too right now as well. We have our fundraiser on September
Yes.
23rd.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah, so it is our 6th annual fundraiser on the farm. It's open up to all ages. It's from 5 to 8 p.m. Family friendly. free will donation. There's a meal, a silent auction. There'll be kid games. People can check out the growing dome and the gardens and see
Oh,
all the
fun.
animals. You can walk the llamas and yeah.
Oh my
so
gosh, you can walk the llamas? Come on.
You can, yeah.
Oh, that
So
is great. I will make sure I show that information too, and I'm so glad you brought it up.
thank you so much.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you, Lynn.
Alrighty. You
So
have
nice
a
to
great
talk to you.
day.
Yes, you too. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, now we'll see if I can be talented enough, everybody, to take you to the website. All right, here we go. Okay, here is their website, harvesthopefarm.org. And you can see the camps, the activities that they have, school programs, research, so many things that they've got going on. So definitely worth a visit over there. And then Facebook too. And I wanted to show their event. They've got an upcoming event, Harvest Hope Farm Fundraiser, Saturday, September 23rd at 5. And this looks like a great time as well. So Oak Park, Minnesota. You get to walk the llamas, the donkey, the miniature horse, visit gardens, learn about the camps and other activities, and maybe she'll take me up on that idea to have a boarding camp for teenagers. But too bad mine are too big, or I would send them there for sure. Maybe for the summer, you know. So check them out, harvesthopefarm.org online and then on Facebook as well. I'm Jessie Abbott, your host of Valley News Now.